Okay, so for this video, we're going to be looking at page 9 through 11 in your guided workbook. So it starts off with a description of a car loan information. You're borrowing $17,000 for a Jetta. You put down $2,000 down payment. So you only have to borrow $15,000. The auto dealerships get you a loan for 5 years and 6%. You agree to that. So we do our monthly payment formulas. But then you decided if you wanted to look at this and do a little bit more research and find out, what would be some of the different rates that you'd have to, the different monthly payments you'd have to pay with different rates. So a lot of this is talking about this spreadsheet here that we're going to be talking about. So first thing we're going to start off with is some information about order of operations. So order of operations tells you to do parentheses first. So everything in the parentheses has to be computed first. Then your exponents. So we use the caret symbol. That's the hat symbol for exponents. Then you multiply and divide. Then you add and subtract. So when you do the multiplication, you'll work left to right. And you do addition and subtraction, you'll also work left to right. And this is abbreviated as PEMDAS. So if we look at this first example here, and we want to do our order of operations, we're going to do the multiplication first, the 5 times 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. And then we're going to subtract 2, so 15 minus 2, and that's where we get 13. On the next example, we have to do the parentheses first. So that comes up to be 3. And then 3 times 3 times 3 is 9. On the last one, we're going to do the 2 times 3 first, so that's 6, and then 6 plus 5 is 11. A lot of people accidentally will do 5 plus 2 and get the 7 and then multiply it, and that's why we're saying make sure you don't get 21. Okay, so on the next example, you have to do this one on your own. But the 6 divided by 4 would be done first because that's your division. So 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. So then I just rewrite the problem, 2 minus 1.5 plus 2. So addition and subtraction has to be left to right. So you don't go through and do addition and then subtraction. You do it left to right. So that would be 0.5 plus 2, which is 2.5 total. So the cell E2 in our formula, in our spreadsheet. So E2 was where the monthly payment was. That's where the payment is located, at E2. And we talked on the previous video about what kind of formula you're going to be putting in that. And so what you see here is you're going to have the principal times the APR divided by the period of the loan. And then this again is the annual percentage rate. This is the period. This is the period, and this is the term, or the number of years. So this is what the cell is that you see located in cell E2. This is the formula. So in the table, there are inputs, and those are variables. Those are things that change for each of the 6 monthly payments. So the $15,000 doesn't change. The monthly payments don't change. So those are both fixed constants. So constants, remember, we usually use the referencing. So the annual percentage rate and the term, or the number of years, are our two variables. So again, let's flip back to that chart real quick. So when you look at the chart, you'll notice what's highlighted. The years across the top are changing, and the annual percentage rates are changing. So each of those formulas in here, the value of the years, which is T, and the value of the annual percentage rate are changing. Okay, so for example, in cell G12, the two things that are being used are the 6% and the 5 years. So those are the two inputted values. If you want to look at that, you can see that. Okay. So number 5 is asking you what are the inputting values for C7. So the 1% and the 1 year are the values for C7. So the 1%, when I fill that column down, should change as I fill it down. So again, when you look back at this table, when I take this value and I fill it down, it's going to be 1% here, 2% here, 3% here, but the years is going to be 1 all the way down. Okay? So they said, what formula would you type in C cell? Well, remember how we talked about the principal, the amount of the loan is a constant. It never changes, so that A2 should not change. The annual percentage rate is going to change. So the annual percentage rate, the B value should be the same, but the 7 should be, the B should stay the same, but the 7 should change as I fill it down. The 12's not going to change, and so again, everywhere that I put B7, I'm going to put the referencing around the B, so it's a mixed cell reference. This is 12 again. I2 is going to be my term of the loan, and no, I didn't copy that. I don't think I don't copy that wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. That should be 12, not I2, so that should be 12. And then the C6 again is your years, and the C6 is something that doesn't change. So on this one, how much interest do you have to pay with the $289 monthly payment? We've talked about this on the previous example. So $289, there's 60 payments because it's 12 years. 12 months times 5 years. So it would be, that's how much interest, how much you're going to pay back, minus the $15,000 gives you $2,399 in interest. So how much would you save if you switched from a 5-year 6% to a 5%? So this is the monthly payment for a 5% loan for 12 months over 5 years. So you would be paying $1,984 in interest. I was going to pay $2,399, so that means I'm going to save $415. So by decreasing my interest rate from 6% to 5%, I decreased my monthly payment, and I also saved money. So if you can get a lower interest rate, it's a good idea. So how much would you save if you switched from the 5 years to a 3-year loan? And so doing that, the $2,399 doesn't change. You can do your calculations and figure out for a 3-year loan that it would be $1,184 in interest. So that means you would save $1,215.12 that you would save. And then the last example here is, what if you had horrible credit and you had to take out a 6-year loan at 10%? So in that case, your monthly payment was $277.89 for 6 years, and 12 months would be $20,008.88, which means you would spend $5,008.08 in interest compared to $2,399 in interest. Okay, so our last thing here is, what is fixed by the row or column? So since both pieces have the dollar sign, this is called an absolute referencing. Both pieces are fixed. And again, this is called absolute. On this one, just the 2 is referenced, so that's the row that's referenced. On this one, neither of them is referenced. On this one, just the V is referenced, so that would be the column. On this one, the row is referenced because the dollar sign's in front of the 21. And on this one, the column is referenced because the dollar sign's in front of the S. So remember, this is what we call a mixed cell reference. Just so you know. Have a great day.